I'm Yung-Hui, a great pleasure to be the moderator for you today. In recent years, the term AI, artificial intelligence, has surged to prominence within global commerce and industry, symbolizing a pivotal technological frontier. The AI development not only holds the key to enhancing national competitiveness, but also for advancing in the social, commercial, and educational landscapes. Understanding the impact of AI across these domains is imperative. We have the honor to invite experts from 5 economies in Asia-Pacific region to share their insight today. So let me introduce first speaker. We have the Dr. Yung-Hui from Taiwan. Dr. Li is the founding director of AI Research Center of Hon-Hai Research Institute, which is the core R&D center for the most critical technology for Foxconn 3+3 transformation strategy. Dr. Li got a PhD degree from computer science of the Carnegie Mellon University. He has also served as an industry chair, publicity chair, and technical program committee member in various international conferences, and got many outstanding research achievements and awards on international stage, such as in the Geneva International Exhibition of Inventions, Pittsburgh International Invention Show, and the Silicon Valley International Invention Festival, etc. So let's welcome Dr. Li.
I'm so happy to be invited here. And let me share my screen. So today I would like to share the strategy of Foxconn in the era of Gen AI. So everybody know that since the ChatGPT was born, everybody has saw today there is a very powerful and new AI has come into our world. And in this generative AI era, and I think our company Foxconn has standing on a very good position in the whole industry. So first, let's look at the full stack of AI industry. So actually, in order to use AI, artificial intelligence technology in the whole society, there are a lot of things that need to be prepared and be manufactured in order to make this happen. So starting from the basic level, like components, like chips, memory, sensor, and to device like a cloud server, edge node, and user device like the AI PC and smartphone that we hear very often in these days. These are the hardware fundamental that we need to build to enable the computation facility about the artificial intelligence. And in this part, in the component part and device part, our company has very strong manufacturing experience for these 2 parts. So our company has worked very closely with NVIDIA to help them package their GPU into modules. And also we have all of the CSP providers, they are all our customers. So we provide racks of the AI server to Meta, Microsoft, Google, and a lot of them, almost all of the CSP partner are our CSP provider are our partner. And move upward, you will see the hardware framework and software framework. And all of these things work together. We can build the AI model, like foundation model, like the GPT-3, GPT-4, and open source model like Llama. And nowadays, you will see the foundation model has been growing much stronger than before. They have multi-modality capability like GPT-4V, GPT-4o, and Gemini. And move upward, combining all of this strong model, you will see this model has very strong capability, like they can do translation, summarization, reasoning, coding and visual question answering. And build on top of this capability, we can build all kinds of application like coding helper, email drafter, RAG, and AI agent. And so I would like to emphasize all of these things will not become possible without the hardware like device and component. And with our strong foundation in electronic manufacturing service, we already know how to build IC, component, module, and system. Now we would like to move toward to the next level and take a very strategic place in the AI ecosystem. So in this new era, Foxconn's strategy is to position ourselves as platform builder. So we would like to build 3 important AI platform for our ecosystem partner. The first one is smart manufacturing. This is because Foxconn is a manufacturing service company. We provide manufacturing for a lot of top tier company like Apple, like Google or Sony, and Microsoft. All of them are our customer. We have very deep experience and knowledge about how to manufacturing electronic device. So we would like to bring Gen AI into this this business and help us to grow stronger in the manufacturing platform. And for EV, I don't know how many of the audience you know, but in recent 2 or 3 years, our company has stepped into the EV world, and we start to transform ourselves from just making manufacturing electronics into the whole system like EV. So we would like to introduce AI's capability into the platform of smart EV. And also, we would like to build smart city platform with one of the city in Taiwan, which is Kaohsiung City. And we will collaborate with Kaohsiung City government and to build a super app to help the city government to provide their service to their citizens so that their lives can be more convenient. So I will take just a few minutes to talk about our smart city platform. We call it City GPT. And basically, we would like to build a super app. You can imagine that as a Taiwanese version of WeChat. So if you know WeChat, then you know that you can install a lot of small app on top of WeChat. So we would like borrow this idea into the smart city platform. We like to build our own super app, and inside this super app, we have built a lot of small module which leverage the power of LLM. So this module, if you want to see more clearly, you can see in this page that all of this module is trying to leverage large language model to do different kind of tasks like RAG, or maybe data analysis, or visual data recognizer for vision and text, and data crawler to crawl data from the internet, and coder to help you to do coding. And if we can build all of this good module, and then our ecosystem partner is able to build their application by leveraging our module and combine the data that they need to provide service to all of the user for our smart city citizen. So this is an example about how to use our super app in smart transportation. So we imagine that in the future, one of the application in our super app is to help the citizen to plan their trip inside Kaohsiung City. They can type their destination, and they can choose what type of vehicle that they want to use, and our super app is able to give the good routing and help them to plan their trip. And also, we build a chat bar for the citizen so that if the Kaohsiung citizen would like to ask some question about where is the best sightseeing places in Kaohsiung, and our chat bar is able to answer that question based on the user's preference and based on the location of the user. So something like that. So okay, I think that's about it. So this is what I want to say in this webinar, which is the smart 3 platform that Foxconn would like to bring in our future endeavor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lee, for your valuable sharing. So our next speaker, Miss Madeline Newman. So Madeline has extensive experiences in strategy transformational change and helping people to see the potential that innovative technology bring. Madeline spent 20 years working with people, process, and the new technology, including AI in the mental health, financial services, and the regulatory sector in the UK, and also bring many new thinking and experience to Aotearoa New Zealand AI community. So may I invite Ms. Madeline Newman.
Thank you, Dennis, and kia ora tātou, everybody. I'll just share my screen. First of all, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what our organisation does. Well, it doesn't seem to be, sorry, I'm just working my slides a little bit. There we go. Here we are. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in Aotearoa, New Zealand, what work we have in progress, and then some of our future plans. So not as technical as Dr. Lee. That was very informative. Very much enjoyed that. Who are we? We're an organisation that is all about harnessing the power of AI to enable a prosperous, inclusive, and equitable future for Aotearoa. You'll see in my executive council members who represent universities, government, and some of the largest big tech companies on the planet, as well as some of the smallest ones as well. We're all passionate about advancing the AI ecosystem through connections, advocacy, growing talent, and collaboration. We promote the economic opportunities raised by AI, supporting great applications and adopters. And we're all about helping to ensure that society can adapt to the rapid and far-reaching changes that artificial intelligence technology is bringing to us. We've been in place since, or the organisation's been in place since 2017. We do a lot of things around, so we run member events, we run working groups. We're a bit of a think tank. We produce lots of thought leadership, and we're also out there enhancing what the general population know about artificial intelligence and helping people to adopt AI responsibly. And we do that through a number of things, and I'll touch on a few of those as I go through my speech. So you can see our membership's made up from across New Zealand. These numbers aren't very big for somebody coming from especially India or some of our other Asia Pacific neighbours, but they're big for New Zealand. So we have a really nice broad range of members who between them employ a good number of New Zealanders. What's been going on so far? So New Zealand isn't like a lot of other countries in that we don't have a fixed or stated AI strategy for the country, but it doesn't mean to say that nothing's been going on. So there's been a lot of work done in the background by the forum itself and by other entities like the Artificial Intelligence Research Association, some quasi-government departments, and of course we've got a unique group of people around the Treaty of Waitangi. The government itself has done a number of things, though to date rather piecemeal. The last New Zealand government wasn't terribly excited by AI, but that has changed with our new government, and now we're leveraging the partnerships that we built up built up over time to help tell the story of how New Zealanders are using AI, because we are really good at this stuff. We're not, we're very good at adapting. We're very good at using new technologies, and we're really good. So from that research perspective, we've got we punch well above our weight internationally, which is great. We face the same challenges that everybody else does when it comes to adoption of artificial intelligence. AI has a sketchy reputation. There's badly trained and implemented AI out there that gives everybody a bad name. There's bad actors, and then there's existential threats. So people worried about cyborgs and things like that that don't necessarily impact us on the day. And the news media often focus on this risk. I don't know what it's like in your country, but in your countries rather, but certainly in New Zealand, they always like to focus on the risky side of things. And while we need to recognise those things, we're much more at the forum, much more about bringing out the opportunities. There are massive opportunities to improve inclusion and accessibility for all, to create better environmental outcomes. And the other thing we do is to tell the stories of successful implementations to help people come to terms with that and to relate to that. We've been using AI for the environment, and more recently events focused on creative industries to help make AI more widely relatable and accessible. I was at a conference in Singapore at the end of last year, run by Meta. It was their APAC Innovation Symposium. And I got to talk to a number of people from around the Asia Pacific region. And we all have the same problem. We all have this problem of AI's sketchy reputation and the lack of trust that exists out there in the populace. And we're all using tools like the environment, like creative industries, to help make it really relatable for people and improve adoption. One of the things that we do, we've done consistently for the last 3 years, is run an AI hackathon for the environment. We run this over 2 days, and it's a fantastic way to help people to relate or to create, safe places for people to play with artificial intelligence, to learn new skills, to understand how the technology works, and what it's capable of. And worst case scenario, they create something that's wonderful for the environment. We use problems to solve from the environment because most organizations have environmental statements as part of their corporate strategies, and that makes it much easier for them to participate and have their people participate. A lot of organizations have found that events like this help them to team build as well. So team building around problems to solve and getting exposure to the potential of artificial intelligence at the same time. When I first took over the forum a couple of years ago, a State of AI at Aotearoa report had just been produced, and what that said was only 1 in 6 New Zealand organisations, or existing New Zealand organisations rather, had AI anywhere near their strategy at all, which meant there wasn't really any, or there wasn't a good amount of governance in place. And then ChatGPT came along, and suddenly everyone was using it. It all got a little bit frightening after a short amount of time. In the background, what the AI Forum's been doing is creating context for future government policy and helping organisations looking at using AI and helping them to create their own governance internally around that. So we've created a website, it's been particularly successful, aigovernance.nz, which takes tool sets from around the world and curates them for a New Zealand context. Quite interesting, a lot of people that have been looking at this are actually from the United States, looking in to see, well, what are they doing there? And that's great. It's a free tool for all. We're not precious about it at all. One of the latest additions to this tool set is Workshop Essentials, which allows organisations to run their own workshops to figure out where they stand on this, where their governance controls should be. We're also working with other organisations like the Institute of Directors in New Zealand to bring AI governance to the board table so that board members and directors of organizations understand what artificial intelligence is and what its capabilities are. We use storytelling to illustrate our work with stories about how New Zealanders are using AI, and that really helps people to relate locally to what it really means and helps us to move the dial. And you can see a couple of examples there. They're freely available on our website for anybody to look at. The other thing that's unique about New Zealand is our Treaty of Waitangi. So it's a founding document for New Zealand, and what it does is provide for a partnership with Maori. Now, if you go to any event around the world talking about artificial intelligence and Indigenous people, you'll always find you'll almost always find a Maori person there. We're very lucky that we have that foundation document, and that the Maori Renaissance for us started in the 1980s, and now we're very proud, especially as part of the AI community, to provide Maori with a very loud voice in this space. And as a result, there's some really cool tool sets coming out, initiatives like CACCI AI give hope that transparency, trust, and respect will be the USP for all AI systems developed here in New Zealand. And there's some really good moves coming in on that. There's also a new claim before the sorry, that's me telling me my 10 minutes is up. There's also a new claim that's come before the Waitangi Tribunal about digital inequity. So I know that in some countries recently, and I believe this is the case in Taiwan, that digital access has become a human right. It's not the case in all countries. It's not the case here. But this claim will help to move that dial for us. You can see that we've been up to a lot of things in the last year or so, building on work that's been done previously. And what's next? We're going to continue our program of engagement across the nation. Our partnership with government has never been stronger, and there will be some significant statements coming out in the next 6 months also around how we'll be working more effectively with them, and also starting some selective initiatives highlighted in our recent blueprint workshops. That's probably about it for me. So there's been a lot of work going on in the background. We're really good at this stuff, and we're open for business.
So we have the next speaker. Thank you, Madeline. So we have the next speaker, Mr. Oliver Tian, the Vice President of Global Robot Cluster, Singapore. Oliver is a passionate AI visionary who believes in leveraging technology to augment human capabilities and extend our potential. With more than 35 years of IT consulting experiences for government and multinational enterprises across the Asia-Pacific region, he ground his strengths in business processes and advanced technologies. Oliver is a firm believer in industry cross-pollination. He has successfully engaged with clients around optimizing the use of technology and the human capital to meet business needs.
It is certainly a pleasure to be here talking to all of you. I guess what we're all trying to do is really understand what AI is about. AI is a passion for me. My first encounter with AI dates back more than 35 years when I was in school, and I got the chance to write a program around AI. So let me kind of share my slides, and then we'll talk about this a little bit more. So based on the brief introduction, actually I'm reported to be part of the Global Robot Cluster, right? However, actually, I work with a number of non-profit organizations, the Global Robot Cluster being one of them. We are a network of 26 countries around the world, and we're based in Daegu, Korea. The International Alliance of Robotics Association is based out of Hangzhou in China. And we do a lot of work around AI and robotics. And part of the discussion I'm going to have with you today will center around how AI in robotics can play a role in the future of what we're going to see. Then I'll center my discussion towards the wonders and woes of AI. I think that's going to be a very interesting discussion. Now, the intrinsic motivation in the study of artificial intelligence really is around how we can create artificial elements or agents, including robots, that can help us and improve our activities. The question around that is, eventually, will we see an AI robot, a robot that has got a physical form and in it and embraces the works of intelligence that we carry and be a strong companion to us in many different ways. Now, AI, of course, to many of us is a big topic, and this is a survey by Gartner that shows that 1 in 5 industries will start to embrace AI accordingly. And this has overtaken the whole digitalization movement. And this is really very impressive because I think given the last 18 months to 24 months with the launch of ChatGPT and a lot of the new applications around LLMs and Gen AI, we are definitely seeing the popularity of AI rise. The question is, how do we humans react to intelligent robots, right? Is it this cool machine that can do everything that we don't want to do? Or is it going to be a human-like form with the intelligence that help us achieve what we want to do? And this is where AI plays a very important part, right? It is no longer just a predetermined, pre-programmed algorithm that performs a task, but it really looks at how it can sense, it can respond, and it can do a lot of analysis to predict. I wanted to show this because I think this is important. Just a couple of months back, 3 months back, right? OpenAI made this announcement that GPT-5 will be embraced into the robot. So really, there's a lot of effort being centered around how we can include AI content into the robot to make it a lot more intelligent. So the reality of AI robot is going to be coming up pretty soon. And if we all have been studying the movements, right, Industry 5.0 is also talking about how AI can play a part, right? The whole human-centric behavior where intelligence become a key component of the next era of industrial revolution. So if we look at all the different messages, right, from Gartner, from OpenAI, from industrial revolutions, everything is centering around AI, and hence this is going to be very key. Now, what are the different wonders of AI, right? I guess many of us think about AI as this magical formula that can solve a lot of things, but I look at it from 5 key points. As the image of AI is potentially great. First of all, it improves the quality of our life, right? AI is intended to perform certain tasks that's similar to what we are doing with certain degree of autonomy, and it can help us with the tasks we're performing. Secondly, it helps us to master and perfect the skills of problem solving. Sometimes we crack our head into how we solve problems, and AI can play a role in supporting us in that capability. Augmenting human capability, that's very important, because if we have a preferred level of performance expectation, AI can help us reach that at a faster pace and a more effective way, right? It also allows us to have a deeper understanding of our world, and more importantly, what the future state of our world is going to be. We're using AI to analyze and predict is going to be a very great function. And more importantly, I believe AI eventually will help us to extend our human potential, right? We'll be able to increase our performance beyond what we currently think we can. So the image of AI is wonderful. IMAGE, right? The image of AI is really wonderful. And hence, as a result, we're definitely seeing the need for us to look at how AI can augment our capability and extend our potential. And I believe in the strategy of 0 to 1 and 1 plus. The 0 to 1 is whereby we have an ideal state of performance which we want to reach, and AI can help us reach that ideal state. So 0 to 1, right? 1 plus meaning that, well, potentially we may not think we can achieve certain tasks, but with AI, it can help us achieve that and extend that potential, what we think we can do beyond that. And AI can be a very powerful tool to do that. So the image of AI are really wonderful, and they really can bring us there. Now, on the other hand, on the flip side, there are the pains that AI bring to us today. Hopefully, we can overcome some of this pain, but the pains of AI include probable scams and fakes. the use of AI to perfect how we can deceive and potentially create new viruses that harm us is a big worry, right? And that's one of the concerns around how AI, if misused, can fall into that aspect. Acceptable ethical issues, right? What's right, what's wrong, what's human's choice? Can applications, can software override what human wants to do? That becomes another issue that we need to deal with. The impact on society, right? Whether it is a function of living or it is in a work environment whereby we think our jobs will be displaced, right? I think society at large may not be ready and the digital divide will get wider. So the impact of society can be large, can be small, depending on how we deal with it. AI can be an nexus of biases and misinformation. And this is very tricky, right? If we cannot explain how AI performs a particular task, we can be biased. Information that is presented to us through an AI algorithm can be misguided and hence lead us to making the wrong decision. And one of the topic that we hear quite a bit about now is the hallucination of AI and some of the misguidance. Sustainability is another big topic, right? AI for sustainability and the sustainability of AI. You know, when we run a query or prompt on ChatGPT, the amount of power and emissions that's generated in order to give you that few paragraph of response is sometimes beyond what we think it is. So the worlds of AI, the pain of AI, I think that's something we need to watch out for. But how do we overcome some of the challenges? Well, I'm a fan of quantum physics, and Max Planck, who is the father of quantum mechanics, shared this advice, and I'd like to kind of also share this with the audience. When we change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That is a very powerful thing, right? Sometimes we just got to look at things from different perspectives, and maybe we can find a solution. So while we have the wonders of AI that we want to keep, the pains of AI that we want to avoid, how can we look at things differently and overcome the pains and build upon the wonders of AI? One final quote, which I like very much. I used to be a chess player when I was in high school, right? Garry Kasparov was one of my heroes, right? Unfortunately, my hero was beaten by a computer, right? More than 20 years ago, yeah? And he's now turned to AI very much. His advice is we really need better humans and not less technology. Technology will continue to advance, get better and better beyond our imagination. We humans got to get better and better ourselves so that we eventually can be the masters of technology and not slave to technology. The return on investment is what we want to look at. Question is, how do we best leverage AI technology to maximize the impact with collaboration across regions, with all the connectivity that we can place, and eventually achieve higher return on intelligence. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much. I'll leave you with some contact and a website that you can find more information about us. And I'll pass it back to you, Chairman Dennis Cook.
Thank you, Mr. Tian Oliver. And our next speaker is Mr. Pranjit Krishnan. With over 2 decades in the technology industry in India, Pranjit is a professional specializing in navigating regulatory frameworks crucial for facilitating ease of the doing business in India. And he contributed extensive to governmental committees, shaping public policies and the regulations pertaining to emerging technology. And also Pranjit has fostered many international collaboration, including joint ventures and the technology transfers, strengthening ties for India overseas link. Especially, Pranjit have a long years cooperation with the Taiwan ICT industry for I think over 15 years already, I think, and also a lot of the cooperation with internationally. So,
indeed, the rise of artificial intelligence has been remarkable globally, and it's equally exciting in India to see how it's shaping various sectors and influencing the country's technological landscape. So there are, as I told that, it's quite exciting in India. There are also certain concerns which I would rather put in as area for improvement. Comparatively, the US and China represents the 2 extremes in government intervention, in industries and innovation, while India falling somewhere in between, varying by industry. So given India's economy, government intervention is often necessary to drive the progress. So the projected growth trajectory of the AI market is a staggering one. By this year, it's estimated to reach a little more than $6 billion with an annual growth rate of 28.63%, culminating in a market volume of $29 billion by 2030. So within this landscape, you can see five key market that delineates the spectrum of AI technologies, in which the machine learning, of course, India is strong at, as it basically deals with the data, algorithms, and computing. But you can also see that India is emerging as a prominent hub for research and development in the natural language processing, with a growing pool of talented researchers and a strong academic community. Several research teams in India have been making significant contributions to the field of NLP. The recent report by NASSCOM in collaboration with BCG underlines India's role in this global AI revolution. The Indian AI market, as per the report, is going for an exponential growth, projected to reach 17 billion by 2027. And this is driven by mainly factors like increased enterprise tech spending, the burgeoning AI talent pool, and a surge in the AI investment. And another thing I want to touch upon is the emergence of India as a powerhouse of AI talent, with the second highest installed talent base globally. With 3 times more AI skilled talent than other countries, India ranks among the top nations in AI skill penetration. The exponential growth in AI skilled individuals with a 14-fold increase in the last 7 years underlines India's commitment to nurturing and harnessing AI talent. The government of India mainly have 2 entities which directs the AI initiatives. There are many schemes and many policies and initiatives, but I touch upon the initiative that launched by the government of India, that's India AI Mission. And this is a comprehensive national level program to so to say, democratize and catalyze the AI innovation ecosystem in the country and ensure a global competitiveness of India's AI startups as well as researchers. So the India AI Mission aims to establish a robust AI ecosystem through strategic programs and partnership across the public and private sector. As I mentioned, the 2 major government entities that drive the initiatives are Niti Aayog, which is earlier the Planning Commission of India, and MeitY, which is the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So with Niti Aayog, they released a national strategy on artificial intelligence that highlights the potential of AI to solve social challenges faced by the country in various areas, and has evaluated various sectors that will be impacted by AI, and has taken a conscious decision to focus on a select set of sectors where only private sector-led initiatives will not lead to achieving the desired societal outcome. So based on that, the Niti Aayog has come out with various research reports that acts as a direction towards various initiatives, both by the government ministries as well as the private sector. When it comes to MeitY, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, they have created an emerging technologies division, which is responsible for fostering and promoting the utilization of cutting-edge technologies in the country. This division is supporting work for initiatives and strategy papers in the emerging areas such as AI. So some of them which I have listed, the AI portal is a collaboration between MeitY and NASSCOM, which serves as a centralized hub for all things that's AI in India. It also sets up various centers of excellence on various technologies, including AI, in association with academic institutions across India. They also come up with a project named Airavat, which is AI research, analytics, and knowledge dissemination platform, thus providing a common compute platform for AI research and knowledge assimilation. This AI computing infrastructure will be used by all technology incubation hubs, research labs, scientific community, industry, startups, institutions, so on and so forth, under the National Knowledge Network. They have also created an interministerial committee to look at implementation and dissemination of their specific sectors. Another major initiative is the Open Government Data Platform. This is a platform for supporting the Open Data Initiative of Government of India. The portal is intended to be used by the Government of India's various ministries and departments, their organization, to publish data sets, documents, and services that it do, applications collected by them for the public use. It intends to increase the transparency in the functioning of government and also open avenues for many more innovation uses of the government data to give different perspective. The base Open Government Data Platform is a joint initiative of the Government of India and the US government. It's needless to mention that ultimately realizing AI's benefits require active collaboration between nations. With care and willingness to compromise, shared innovation can enable human progress on a global scale. The Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, GPAI, is an international and multi-stakeholder initiative to guide the responsible development and use of AI grounded in human rights, inclusion, diversity, innovation, and economic growth. India is a founding member of GPAI, and currently India is also the chair of GPAI. The next one is the US-India Artificial Intelligence. This is an initiative of Indo-US Science and Technology Forum, which was established in 2000. The Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and the US Department of State are the respective nodal departments for this scheme. Moving on, India has also signed an MOU with the UAE in terms of coming up with an India-UAE bridge. There's also many other collaborative efforts by the industry along with the government, which I have listed on the right side. As it's a more of a cliched word that the advent of AI has divided the world into leaders and laggards. And as far as the AI implementation and the usage trends are concerned, India is in the leaders club that we're enjoying a very front position, with 91% of Indian companies plan using their data to train AI models, as against 62% companies globally. So 70% of the firms in India have AI projects up and running. The industries that lead the AI adoption are the tech firms, which also include the e-commerce with 70%, the BFSI with 54%, manufacturing with 50%, so on and so forth. Some of the major activities or adoption which happens in the industries in India are mentioned in the right-hand side: the healthcare, the agriculture, education, so on and so forth. India's startup ecosystem is a dynamic one where innovation thrives amidst huge diversity. With a burgeoning tech-savvy population, it's a hotbed. India has become a hotbed for disruptive ideas and entrepreneurial spirit. So the Indian tech startup landscape has witnessed an exponential growth in the past decade, growing upwards of 15-fold. In 2023 alone, if you see the data, there were 950 plus new tech startups that were incepted, taking the total tally over the past decade to a staggering 31,000. So ranked the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, the Indian tech startups have cumulatively raised a massive $70 billion plus in funding since 2019. Despite the macroeconomic headwinds, factors, including the rapid penetration of consumer internet, the digitization-led growth in enterprise, and changing consumer pattern propel the growth in sectors such as ed tech, enterprise tech, retail tech, health tech, so on and so forth. I also want to mention about the Kritrim, which I have given on the right-hand side bottom. This is it's the firm created by Ola. It's an Indian company which started as a taxi aggregator, then moved into electric vehicle. This has set a record this year to become the first AI unicorn from India, and it raised $50 million in its recent funding led by Matrix partners. So along with those that are rosy in color, there are also a few shades of gray, which I more or less, as I mentioned in the beginning, that the areas for improvement. The first one is the data management. India faces a challenge in AI development due to a lack of well-annotated local data sets spread across various institutions with differing standards. That makes the availability as well as the access a little challenging. The second one on the high performance computing is the global demand for the high level AI computing exceeds that of supply, with the US dominance in the chip manufacturing and cloud computing impacting global AI economy dynamics. So investing and funding, even though I mentioned about some of the investment that happened to the Indian startups, despite the significant investment, the Indian AI companies receive comparatively less funding than the US and China, affecting the deployment of market-ready AI models. That leads to the other point where India lacks foundational AI models with economic viability, driving the adoption of languages like English, hindering the broader access and the adoption. India boasts high AI skill penetration, but faces challenges in translating skills into what you call the impactful projects indicated by conflicting trends in GitHubs or contributions and stars. So I would say that the gap is mainly between the demand and the supply. In India also lacks specific AI regulation law, which is the key part I want to mention in the slide. But there are initiatives like the Digital India Act, which is going to come out probably this year, aimed at fostering innovation and addressing issues like the algorithmic accountability and data protection. And the last one, as Mr. Oliver was also mentioned, the concern arising out of AI-generated misinformation and the transparency of data sets, prompting calls for oversight agencies and a legal framework to manage AI risks and ensure ethical use. So India is positioning itself to become a front runner in the AI development through a deliberate approach guided by the experts from government as well as the industry. So this collaboration, leveraging existing capabilities, are seen as vital for fostering self-reliance and democratizing innovation. So embracing a holistic ecosystem level approach, this enables tracking the current trends, policy developments, and regulatory initiatives, clearing the way for transformative change. So I'll pause over here and we'll take on questions when and as it comes. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranjit. I think you share a lot of information about the development in India about the AI. Our next speaker, so we have Miss Vicky Ezaihan from Mongolia. I think, as I mentioned, that Vicky is the co-founder for the Emphasoft University of Mongolia and the country director of the Women in Tech Global Movement in Mongolia. We talked last time when you were in Paris, and you received an award, right? For I think it's excellent Women in Tech Global Movement, I think. And she is also an associate certified coach from the International Coaching Federation. and is an author for 6 books. I think it's very nice, you know, so I hope I can understand Mongolian language. Okay, so she's going to share a very interesting topic in a topic of how AI in nomadic life.
As Dennis introduced me, I am the co-founder of the University of Technology in Mongolia. And there is a big reason why I created this university with my friends. Is just now our delegate from India, he was mentioning that the lack of skilled workforce. This is also the big problem in Mongolia to develop not only AI, it's developed all kind of technology here. So I hope that you guys can see my slide. Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can see your slide. Yes,
yeah,
yeah, perfect.
Thank you. AI is in everywhere. And last few days, when I followed the Computex Expo in Taiwan, many of the speakers are mentioning about everything about the AI. So AI also happened in nomadic life in Mongolia. And what I want to share here is my beautiful country. And Miga is asking me is that artificial intelligence created picture? I said, no, this is the real picture of Mongolia. And this is the Gobi Desert. I was born and raised here. And why I showed all those pictures is because Mongolia, as you know, Mongolia is we have the population of 3.4 million, and our GDP is like this, and we are located in the center of the Asia, with a neighbor of 2 big brothers as Russia and China. And another thing I want to mention is the Mongolian, the young population is 35% of the entire population, means that we are a very young country for the democratic. We are very young for the technology. Also, we have a young population. And why I'm mentioning about it is actually Mongolia is the nomadic lifestyle country. Means that we have a big land, less population. And how to survive in this big land with the harsh weather is the lifestyle is only nomadic way. And now the 25% of the population is still living in a nomadic life. Means that I can drive 20 kilometers from my city. I can see the real nomadic life here, but with electricity and internet for 24 hours in their hand, and also have the renewable energy outside of their home by the wind, solar panels, like that. So our life is collaborating with the technology and nomadic lifestyle. So this summertime, everybody will go out from the city and live the nomadic life for another 2-3 months. So technology development in nomadic lifestyle is very unique in the world, in many countries, which is well developed, already forgotten about the life that 1,000 years ago we used to live. And AI development is maybe because of because of the historical way, it's quite easy to other countries, but it's quite difficult in Mongolia, in nomadic lifestyle. Why? Because developing the AI, developing the technology in our own language, in our own environment is difficult, because the world, all the information on the website, all the data is on the website, only 0.1% is in our language. I know the other languages, more than 50% is in English, more than 10% is in Spanish language, more than 5%, 5 to 10% is in Chinese language, but only 0.1% 1% is in our Mongolian language. So creating our own data, collecting our own data about Mongolia is very less than in the other languages. So another barrier also when we developed AI in Mongolian country is the investment. Technology is all about investment. Technology is all about money, but last few years, we invested around 10 million US dollar for our AI development in Mongolia. Comparing to the big countries, comparing to the big technology world, $10 million is nothing. But we put our effort to develop our own AI development in Mongolia, in nomadic life. Also, as I mentioned in the earlier, Mongolia language is one of the low source language in the world. And all the AI development like ChatGPT, OpenAI, and those Gemini, those things all in English language. But even the young population of the Mongolia, 35% of the population of Mongolia is young. They don't speak English, they don't speak Chinese, they only speak Mongolian language. And Mongolia is 3.4 million population, but we have another part of Mongolia in China, which is called Inner Mongolia. Inner Mongolia, 5 million population. Not all of them can speak Mongolia, but during the COVID time, Chinese government banned Inner Mongolian schools. Teaching Mongolian language is forbidden. So all those Inner Mongolian students, Inner Mongolian young population, now they don't speak their own Mongolian language. They don't write to learn their own Mongolian script in the school. So who will save this unique culture in the world is the people who is speaking, the people who is living in this lifestyle. As like Mongolia, the other countries also, as I remember, South Africa have their own different languages, different cultures. Nigeria, even inside a small country, even the big country have the many different type of languages, many different type of lifestyles, cultures are still being there. So how to protect those, how to keep and inherit all those beautiful culture, beautiful language is the AI. AI also can save the language and the culture. So I want to show you guys one of the great example how we are protecting, how we are giving our culture to our young generation as a heritage is the Egune, the very first Mongolian foundation language of the foundation model of the language. Egune is announced last month. We opened our official Egune ChatGPT in Mongolia, and the Egune behind there is several of the IT company of Mongolia, and Egune become one of the foundation model, one of the biggest foundation model after G8 and China foundation models. And why the founders of the Egune are so proudly announcing this opening ceremony to the world is because other languages, other cultures like Mongolia, few people are using. They also can use Egune to save their language, save their culture. Like other languages, other cultures, many of the cultural things are oral, means that not written in the papers, even not written on the papers and keeping in the library is also not recognized in the technology data. And when we ask the same question in Gemini or ChatGPT and Egune, the answer is coming different way. For example, in Mongolian literature, we have a very rich oral literature in Mongolia. Means that the poems, the folk stories, fairy tales, and asking about all those specific stories in Gemini, the answer is wrong, because in one hand, AI development is quite new in the world. It's still like a 2-3 years old child mind. But even in those data in the world, we don't have the specific answers for the nomadic history and culture. But Egune already included in Mongolian language and Mongolian transcripts, means that from up to down, all those transcripts. So Egune contains all those beautiful culturalistic things inside the data. So using the Egune, other small cultures also can keep their own data, can use Egune as like a foundation model to keep their own lifestyles. So when I established last year the Microsoft University with my friends, is not only providing the skilled workforce, human resource to Mongolian market, is also want to keep our beautiful, unique culture. And in the future, many people from all over the world come to Mongolia and enjoy the nomadic lifestyle, see the beautiful culture here to have the technology development together. So those who attend this in our webinar, who wants to collaborate together with our Egune, collaborate together with the Mongolian, this foundation model creators, ICT guys, please do not hesitate to contact me in the future. I will guide you to our talented engineers and talented founders of those nomadic AI developers in the future. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for your sharing, Vicky. Now we are ending our presentation session. We are entering like a panel discussion now. My first question I would like to address to Mr. Oliver Tian and Dr. Yung-Hui Lee. As you both fellow are AI experts and a passionate AI visionary, believe in leveraging the technology to augment human capabilities of AI to extend our potential. Could you both share some more in your view about what is the potential impact of AI on future commerce, industry, education, or skills, and how AI to enhance our welfare or benefits? Should the public be prepared to apply AI in their future life?
Okay, I think that's a huge question. It's contain a lot of different aspects. But one thing for sure is AI is going to definitely impact the everybody's life in the next, I think, next 50 years. Yeah, and it will. I think AI will help us to do our job more efficiently and help us to do education more efficiently by tailoring the education material individually and help students to learn much faster and better according to their own capability. And for the society, I think there's still a huge gap between AI expert, AI practitioner, and the general public. So I think for that part, this is the important thing that we need to pay attention. I think we should try to educate the general public so that more and more people will be able to use at least some very easy AI tool to increase the productivity during their daily life and work, and help the industries, the companies to utilize AI tool to improve their efficiency in their business and expand their business opportunity. And I think AI will also help country to increase their productivity and competitiveness toward other country. So this is a major three direction I can think of.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. I think it's as you mentioned that AI actually it's very broad and it's a big topic. As far as I know, that somebody said that's a science fiction. They say that in the future. I think it's just yesterday the news, in a news from United States. They say within 100 years, AI is control a human being for 99%. But I don't know that. I think maybe it's kind of the science fiction, a lot of the novel writing about that. So how about Oliver? What do you think? So can you share more?
Sure. I think Dr. Lee gave some very good ideas on the prospects of AI and how we can work together with AI. I believe that, number one, we got to be mindful that AI is a big topic, right? It's like this huge elephant, whether you're looking at the trunk or looking at the legs or the tail, you have a different view of what AI is. So we need to be very careful with that. But I do agree with Dr. Lee that we must be familiar with AI. In fact, I've got 3 E's to encourage, right? I would encourage everyone, right? And I really mean everyone, to educate yourself on AI. Because what you don't know, you fear, right? What you don't know, you are afraid of. So get to know what AI is about, at least at a level whereby you're comfortable with. So educating yourself on AI is important. The second is, I think there's no harm after you know what's AI to experiment with AI. I think all of us can. Like it or not, AI is in our life. Your smartphone, your smartwatch carries certain AI content. So go ahead and experiment with it to overcome that fear, that misunderstanding that AI is this monster that's going to take over our life, right? And thirdly is to engage with AI experts, AI practitioners who can tell you more about their experience with AI, right? I love media that talks about how great AI is, and in like what Dennis just mentioned, right? It's going to take over the world. But if you talk to the AI practitioners, those who write the AI codes, they'll tell you that it's not exactly going to be happening that way, at least not for the near future, right? Maybe something will be created soon, 10 years, 20 years, where it will overwhelm us, just like what happened with ChatGPT. LLM became so popular, and suddenly, there's this big movement towards the use of AI. But until then, the current technology today is not ready to take over our job. In fact, I believe AI should really be augmenting our capability. What we cannot do or what we're frustrated with doing, AI can help us. There's this whole work around what's called robot process automation, all right? And it's becoming more and more popular nowadays. Most of the ERP software has embedded this functionality into their functions. So robot process automation really talks about how you can put in some form of a AI algorithm to help you automate processes that's very tedious and speed up the way you're doing work. So it's really using AI to augment what you are doing so that it can become more efficient, become more effective. And that brings me to a discussion around what I believe will be the emergence of the connected worker. We are going to be very connected in what we do, human to human and human to AI to human, right? Because we will leverage AI functionality to support our work, and the AI will take this content and support another human in their work. So this connected workforce concept is becoming real, and business owners need to start to design their workforce, their organization, such that AI is one imaginary workforce that will support the organization. You cannot treat AI as a tool just as it is now, but it has to be redefined as potentially a part of your organization, right? And that functionality is so important to help you. But having said all this, Dennis and the panelists, as well as the audience, let's be mindful. We got to be careful about the biases that sit in AI. I like Vicky's comment, right? When you try to use ChatGPT to ask something about the history of Mongolia, it gives you wrong answers, right? And that's because it's not inside your data set, right? Large language model depends on your data set, right? We humans have the capability to induce new knowledge, whereas AI is deducing based on past knowledge. And that is one big difference that can help us overcome biasness. Secondly, let's not be over-dependent on the AI when you think AI is the magical formula, right? I always believe that we have eventually to become the masters of technology and not slave to. So we cannot be overly dependent on AI. We need to sometimes question AI. You know, I talk to students in Singapore about adoption of AI, and they tell me, oh, you know, AI ChatGPT gives me everything that I need. But I say, hey, hold on. It is your role to ask what if and why not. And humans normally ask that question, what if and why not? You question the output that comes out from ChatGPT or any Gen AI tool, then you can add value to what you're doing, right? So don't be over dependent. And finally, let's be careful not to misuse AI. AI is meant to provide good for humankind. So let's not use AI in a wrong way, such that it create more harm, and in my presentation earlier, to create the pain of using AI and cause more trouble for us. Right. So those are my views. Dennis, back to you.
Thank you, Oliver, sharing. I think it's very good. So human to human, human to AI. I think it's very important. We are not going to overuse or misuse, over-dependent or misuse, and be careful not to bias to AI. I think recently I'm just learning how to get used to AI in my work and how to get along with AI, you know, because my colleague always send me some report about generated by the AI. I think I have to, you know, to check about everything. So, but I think it's amazing a lot of the output. So I have to get along with AI. I think thank you for your sharing, Oliver and Dr. Lee. So my next question is to Madeline, please. As you are leading AI Forum NZ to bring new thinking and experience to AI community in New Zealand, and also consulting to the government AI-related policies, plan, and initiatives, as you mentioned in your presentation speech. So could you share more for reference also to other countries, you know, because other countries also needed to do some like, maybe I should say like AI governance, like Prentice mentioned that. So could you share more about what policies or regulations has been discussed or been discussed by the government, and what effective and safe AI implementation strategies for businesses and the governments? Could you share more, Madeline?
Sure. So in New Zealand, we have we've taken a light touch approach to regulation so far, and I think that's going to continue to be the case. We don't have, so we're a small country, slightly bigger than Mongolia, but not much bigger. So we don't have the wherewithal to tell large organizations what to do. So large global organizations, we can't tell them what to do. It's quite difficult for us to regulate them. We can regulate activities that happen within New Zealand, but I don't know, we're a rounding error for Microsoft and Google and insert name of any other large technology. So if we get too antsy, they can just switch us off, and which is not a good solution for any of us. So we take a more considered approach where where we work with those technology companies to achieve the things that we want to do. So it's much more a collaborative approach rather than a carrot and stick from a regulatory perspective. Doesn't mean to say that we don't have some controls, and there are a lot of. I was very interested in what Vicky was saying about the approach in Mongolia, because obviously we have Māori language here, and there's a lot of protection, a lot of desire for protection of so data sovereignty, owning your own data, and maintaining ownership of your own culture and language. And there's a lot of emphasis on that here, and we're still working through what that means for us, which is why it's so important that we have, as I was talking about, the Māori voice in the room. So I'm not Maori. I am a proud New Zealander though, and I want us to be inclusive and bring those things together. A successful implementation of technology, I think, has to do. I was really interested in what Oliver and Dr. Lee were saying. We should use so AI is not a solution in itself. It's a solution to problems to solve. So if you have the most important thing is that you identify the problem that you want to solve, and perhaps AI is the answer, perhaps it's not. So that's the more important thing. For us in New Zealand, I think the latest statistics I heard is that the average New Zealander is saving 5.4 hours per week. So not quite 30% of their working life, but 5.4 hours a week. And my question to them has been, what are you going to do with those 5.5 hours? What are you going to do? Are you going to have a better quality of life? Are you going to? We work really hard. We work just like most other people in most other nations. We work really long and hard hours to produce, to produce whatever it is we're producing. If we can save that time, what are we going to use that for? Is it to do more work, or is it to be better parents, or build better humans, be more productive in our community life? Those kinds of things. So think of improvements and productivity gains in terms of what that gives you in your life and your own well-being, and in the well-being of your community in general, and whatever it is that makes you feel that helps you to get there. I think the other thing that's I found really interesting was the talk about humans in the loop, but also people doing robot work. So one of the really good use cases, and from an implementation perspective, I think one of the things that we really like to talk about are live active use cases, so where people are actually using this and it's working. And one of those is there's a new movement amongst doctors to use generative AI to record their patient notes and to order diagnostics and things like that. In a global average, general practitioners spend 44% of their time filling out forms and writing notes. If we can give them back the majority of that time, they can spend that time with their patients, having that human interaction, which is why they became doctors in the first place.
Okay, thank you for your sharing, Madeline. I think it's also good for reference to other countries where they want to make some, some kind of the policy setting or discussion. I think it's a good sharing from your side, from New Zealand. Okay, so my next question I think that to the Vicky. Okay, Vicky. So that you mentioned about that some development AI difficulty in Mongolia. So have you been encounter or kind of like foreseen, okay, in the future what the support? I know you got you mentioned 1 million, right, for the government funding. So do you expect or can you see foreseen in the future any support or more incentive program from the government or any development in the future? So maybe you can follow reference to other countries if they are interested to invest in Mongolia.
Yeah, and that's then $10 million is not from the government, it's from the private sector. And we didn't have any support yet from the government. And we just had our digital and development communication minister and 3 years ago, and now the election is happening. After election, this minister of the digital and the communication development will be stronger and stronger to attract the more investment from the other countries for our AI development or the technology development. And I've heard that Egune got the grant from NVIDIA 2 years ago. So means that already technology and AI experts are paying their attention to Mongolian AI development already. So hope so they Igune and the other technology startup companies will show their the great achievement to the world by their own way to attract more investment. And I really hope that after the election, the government will more focus on the regulation part and also the more focusing on the AI development like other countries to legal way, the background way, getting the more strength. I really hope that. And also the another part is not only government and those companies putting their effort, also the young people have to have more interest into the ICT sector and STEM education. So for those effort, we are working hard, and those young people who is already interested into the AI will bring more attention from the other countries and from the other part of the world.
Okay, thank you for your sharing. I think to Taiwan is kind of like for your information, Taiwan is the kind of the AI server, like like a central supply to all of the world. I think it's a #1 AI server. So it's so every country or every market, if they develop AI, it's good for the Taiwan ICT industry. So I think just for some reference, okay. So thank you for your sharing. I think my last question addressed to Pranjit, okay, Pranjit. So in your speech, you already shared about a lot of the kind of the Indian government policy and the initiatives and some project. I think India is such a big country. I think you must got a lot of the resources, some government support or government project. So any issues or difficulties from your view, okay? So to the development of AI and or application or investment in India has been encountered or foreseen by you from your point of view. Thank you, Pranjit.
Yes, sure, Dennis. As I mentioned in my slide, the last slide, which mentioned about the areas for improvement. So I put a few points. One, the data availability and quality is one. One of the primary challenges in AI development in India is the availability and quality of data. While India generates a vast amount of data, much of it is unstructured and fragmented, making it challenging to use for AI applications. So additionally, there are concerns about data privacy, security, and bias, which can affect the accuracy and reliability of the AI algorithm. And the second point which I think about is the skill shortage. Even though India is a highly populated country with a the skill also that we speak about, despite having the large pool of IT professionals, there's a shortage of skilled AI talent in India. So many AI-related roles require specialized skills in areas such as machine learning, data science, and natural language processing, which are in short supply. So addressing this skill shortage requires investments in education and training programs to develop the next generation of the AI experts. I'm not telling that it's not happening. It's happening. As I didn't explain in one of the slides, I mentioned there are a few multinational companies who associate with the Indian government, such as Intel associating with the government of India to come up with a program called AI for All, in which they introduce the basic AI skill from the school levels to the students. The third point, which I would like to mention, is the infrastructure and technology access. The access to high quality computing infrastructure and AI technologies can be a challenge for many organizations and individuals in India, particularly in rural and the remote areas. The limited access to cloud computing services or high-speed internet advanced hardware can hinder AI development and adoption. You just mentioned about Taiwan being the hub for the AI data, because the Taiwan has the advantage in terms of high performing chip and hardwares, where India lacks on that. And the other one, which is very important, is the regulatory uncertainty. The lack of a comprehensive regulatory framework for AI in India can create uncertainty and challenges for the developers, business, and also the policy makers. So without a clear guidelines and regulations, there may be concerns about ethical use, data privacy, liability, accountability in the AI systems, so on and so forth. That also creates it raises the complex ethical and social questions related to privacy, security, autonomy, and job displacements. So ensuring that AI development prioritize ethical consideration and aligns with societal values and norms is essential to building trust and acceptance of the AI technologies. And there's also another aspect which I want to bring is the digital divide. So there's a risk that AI development may exacerbate the existing inequalities and widen the digital divide in India. So without, as you would know that, in India, still the internet connectivity or the mobile connectivity is just above half the population in India. So without a proactive efforts to promote inclusive access of AI technologies and ensure equitable distribution of benefits, the marginalized communities and region may be left behind in the AI-driven economy. So addressing these issues and challenges requires a coordinated effort from the government, industry, academia, and also the civil society to develop strategies, policies, and various other initiatives that promote a responsible AI development and foster innovation and maximize the societal benefits of AI in India.
Okay, thank you for your sharing. I think because India is such like to a lot of the people, countries, that India is a very sophisticated and complicated doing a business in India. I think a lot of the Taiwan friends told me that they go to India, they don't know the direction. So I think it's a very good, especially to the CACCI member countries or economies, if they want to cooperate in India, I think they have to know some direction. I think it's very good to doing business in India is that via some kind of like good network. I think Pranjit, you can help a lot of things for the CACCI member to doing a business in India. I think it's a good direction. Thank you for your sharing. Okay, the time is up. We have to end in the webinar today. However, the future of AI certainly will be explored continually. As the author mentioned, that I think a lot of the things we still can explore in the future, and there is a long way to go. Thank you all the fellow speakers for sharing your insights. We indeed have a very fruitful discussion.